thank you for coming. Really, I mean that. Thank you, because this means an awful lot to me. Yeah, no, well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I've been doing bit parts for a while now, so to actually get a sort of more major role in a production, it's really good. It makes me feel like I'm actually heading towards something now. But it's very nerve-wracking because there's a lot more to remember. There's a lot more time and attention put on me. I mean, I don't need to explain. I mean, I'm sure you know. You've been through this, and it's kind of why I called you. I mean, you're a good friend. Don't get me wrong, you are a very good friend, but I just figured who better to help me with this than you. I mean, you've been there. You've done it constantly and wonderfully. I mean, you were great in that last production. Yeah, no, I really adored it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought you really brought out the real sort of inner depths of your character in subtle ways as well, and I'm kind of hoping to be able to do something like that myself. So, but I thought, who better to run through my lines with me than you? So I really do appreciate this. I think it's gonna be good. I had an idea though, rather than just do a straight read through. I mean, tell me if you think this is a silly idea, but I thought maybe if we read through the lines, like, quietly. I mean, quietly as in, like, maybe, like, softly spoken. I mean, try and sort of just limit the projection of our voices. I mean, yeah, it might stifle the emotion, or the projection of the words, I don't know, but I just thought it would be a good way to maybe sort of ingrain the actual lines in my head. If we kind of stylize them a little bit, if we kind of put sort of limiters on them, and kind of, yeah, well, I mean, if you're willing to give it a go, we can try it, and if it doesn't work, we can just go back to doing a normal read through. But I just thought it might be a little bit different. It might make it a bit more fun. It might make it a little bit easier for me to sort of remember certain lines. I just thought it'd be an interesting exercise. Okay, oh yeah, cool. Well, we'll give it a go, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'll read the intro text to get us set up. Yeah, Sydney's your character. And I'm Phil. Nice to meet you. Alright, so it is a 50s style restaurant with a menu at the upstage side of the table. Hang on. That has a button and a speaker for ordering. A woman in a little old lady mask. Yeah, you do have to wear the little old lady mask. Not now, but obviously at the time of performance. I don't even know if we've got a little old lady mask in the props department. I mean, could always order one off the internet, I guess. Yeah, we'll tell Tom, and we'll get him to sort it. He might want you to make one. Anyway, I'm getting distracted, sorry. Focus. A woman in a little old lady mask, Sydney, is sitting at the table, sitting across from an empty seat. A waitress or waiter brings Sydney an appetizer. Sydney eats it through the mouth hole in the mask. Next, Phil enters. He is a nerdy looking guy in glasses. I know, talk about typecasting, right? And has some old flowers in his hand. The waitress shows him to Sydney's table. Phil is so nervous, he doesn't even look at Sydney and sits. He shields himself with his flowers. Hey there, Sydney. I'm early. I mean, I'm Phil, and I'm early. I'm glad you're early too. Well, sort of. I was hoping to beat you and get used to the room first. I get nervous in new places and with new people. I get nervous this a lot. I brought you flowers. Phil stakes the flowers in the middle of the table. It blocks Sydney from view and himself as well. Sydney tries to get a good look at Phil. The flowers are a little wilted, and they were pretty. I mean, there is this wonderful flower shop, but I didn't have time to go there today. But I did a few days ago, and I wanted those flowers. I don't get a date every day, you know, and I wanted this to be special, so I got the best flowers I know of, but I want this to be great, you know what I mean? Sydney grabs the flowers and smells them. In her old lady voice, she says, Phil sees Sydney's old lady mask for the first time. He is suddenly speechless. He stares a moment. He takes off his glasses and cleans them. He puts them on and looks again. Sydney puts the flowers to the side of the table and looks at Phil happily. After a few moments of silence, what's with the mask? No, not really, it's just weird. I have to admit, I'm a little curious. Why would you wear an old person mask to dinner and do the weird voice? Tell me about it. I'm not. Really? You do too. What? But you said my eyes, and your eyes are, well, pretty. But, can't I? Okay. I like red. Do you like red? Why is that? It's good to feel something. At least those colours feel something. Black and white isn't so boring. No feeling at all. Hungry? Is that battered green beans? That is my absolute favourite. Nobody else likes these. Oh, these are so good in the honey poppy seed sauce. Oh, you didn't. What are the odds we'd like the same things? So, what else happens on these dates? I mean, you seem to have had it all planned out with the mask and such. It's like a test or something. There was this one episode of Star Trek. Really? Earl Grey tea. Hot. So, is this one of those Trekkie tests of the true nature of the species? What's the next trial? I shall take this challenge. Phil looks at the menu. He noticed Sydney isn't looking. Already know what you want? What are you having? Phil studies her. I'll take this challenge. I will take your dinner challenge. Sydney pushes menu button. This is it. Oh, no. Sorry. I'm jumping in on your lines. Sorry. Okay, back into it. I too will have the unusual usual. I'm brave. I'll try anything once. I didn't see anything too unusual on the menu. Phil gets nervous. Oh. Phil wrinkles his face. I really don't want to look like that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Maybe I should wear a mask on dates too. I get so nervous. It's the mask. It's helping me for some reason. It's so ridiculous. I guess it lightens the mood. Sydney makes another hurt sound. No, you're very normal. The rest of us are weird. There is a ding. Sydney looks. That was quick. I'll get it. Phil goes and gets food and returns. A hot dog. Most unusual. I actually love hot dogs. Yep. Phil devours it. Sydney watches in approval after a few moments. Phil pauses. He looks nervous. I don't know. Maybe... I guess... This is a test too, isn't it? Oh, man. Sydney laughs and switches to her real voice. Okay. Ugly? I don't mind. I'm no William Shatner. I'm sure I'm not William Shatner. I'm sure. I already know you have beautiful eyes. I still can't compliment you. Sydney sits quietly a moment. You don't have to take off the mask. It's okay. Phil waits nervously as Sydney removes the mask. Sydney looks shy and Phil looks happy. You're beautiful. You are. Really. You don't have any reason to hide. Sydney makes eye contact and returns his smile. They smile at each other happily a moment. Sure. Okay, end of scene. Yeah, I think it was quite good. It was interesting. I mean, how about we read through again? But how about I play Sydney and you play Phil this time? And we'll still keep it to soft-spoken delivery. Yeah? Okay, we can try that. Alright. I'll still read the cues and stuff, but I will be Sydney now. Alright. So now I get to do my best old lady voice, I guess. It is a 50s-style restaurant with a menu at the upstage side of the table that has a button and a speaker for ordering. A woman in a little old lady mask, Sydney, is sitting at the table, sitting across from an empty seat. A waitress or waiter brings Sydney an appetizer. Sydney eats it through the hole in the mask. Next, Phil enters. He is a nerdy-looking guy in glasses and has some old flowers in his hand. The waitress shows him to Sydney's table. Phil is so nervous he doesn't even look at Sydney and sits. He shields himself with his flowers. Phil sticks the flowers in the middle of the table, so it blocks Sydney from view and himself as well. Sydney tries to get a good look at Phil. Sydney grabs flowers and smells them. In her old lady voice she says, "They're lovely." Phil sees Sydney's old lady mask for the first time. He is suddenly speechless. He stares a moment. He takes off his glasses and cleans them. He puts them on and looks again. Sydney puts the flowers to the side of the table and looks at Phil happily. After a few moments of silence, "Does it scare you?" so you're not going to run off on me. It's my way of weeding out the losers. I want to find a man who likes what I'm really like and doesn't let my looks getting in the way. Sorry, let's start that again. It's my way of weeding out the losers. I want to find a man who likes what I'm really like and doesn't let my looks get in the way. You're not ugly. Take off your glasses again. Phil does, and Sydney takes a very close look. You have very nice eyes. Stop that. No physical stuff now. No. Shh. No. Sydney looks very grumpy and crosses her arms. Phil looks around everywhere but at Sydney. After a few moments, the flowers are very nice. I'm not much into colours. They're so loaded. Red is passion, blue is sadness, green is envy. Sydney nods approvingly and then holds out her appetizer. Hungry? Phil takes something from the appetizer tray and eats it. No way. I do. Sydney holds out some sauce. Phil happily dips in the sauce. Sydney wiggles happily. I don't know how you would wiggle happily, but... I like Star Trek. Live long and prosper. Dinner? Phil looks at the menu. He noticed Sydney isn't looking. It's a secret. Phil studies her. What? Sydney pushes menu button. This is Sydney. I'll have my usual. You don't even know what it is. It's very unusual. My usual isn't on the menu. Phil gets nervous. Sydney laughs. Don't worry, it hasn't killed anyone yet. It is, however, responsible for my lovely appearance. Sydney makes a hurt sound. Oh, you bad man. You hurt my feelings. I was joking. Relax. You're doing well. Sydney makes another hurt sound. Ridiculous. Oh, my, I'm ridiculous. I think it's meant to say ridiculous. I think they maybe just typed this out wrong. Darn tootin'. There is a ding. Sydney looks. That's our order. Phil goes and gets food and returns. A hot dog. It is. Who knows what's in the meat? Really? Phil devours it. Sydney watches in approval after a few moments. Want to see me without my mask? Sydney laughs and switches to her real voice. Don't be nervous. I'm not this scary looking for real. I'm kind of ugly, but nothing like this. Don't worry, I don't have a huge nose or weird teeth or a huge mole on my face. just not very good looking. You sure? You sure about the mask? Stop that. No. I want to. You're really nice. You deserve to see my real face. You've passed the test. Phil waits nervously as Sydney removes the mask. Sydney looks shy and Phil looks happy. Sydney does her old lady voice. No. Stop. Sydney makes eye contact and returns his smile. They smile at each other happily a moment. Want another hot dog? Scene. Yeah, it's not the longest of scenes, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's, you know, I'm gonna have to remember all of it, and I'm gonna have to find like a decent sort of character to bring out. But yeah, I think this has helped a lot. You really, really helped a lot. So thank you for taking some time to run through it with me. If you want, we'll get a coffee and then maybe come back to it, and then, you know, I don't know.